Comrade Show. Wait, Comrade Lante Oriake. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show. Comrade Show. Wait, Comrade Lante Oriake. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show.
Bad government. They are Fulani boys. All the 8 are Fulani. They are Fulani boys, and that if any day they see the president, they will chew him. It's their brother that they have disappointed them and disappointed Nigerians. They will chew him raw, or any of his representatives, they will chew him raw. But I said, well, even though I'm part of government, but I'm a church man. I'm a man, Christian. I'm not a government official. I said, okay. Then he said that we should be here with two of them. One was like this one. They appointed gun at us. They said if the Oga said shoot, if we disappoint them, or if they count any bundle of the money and it's not up to 10 million, they will kill us. So they will count it 20 million into 5, and then they will tell them to release our phone. They say, Oga, where we don't want to release your phone is when we want to hold your phone, they will use it to track us. So take your phone. Well, we were there. At the time, they said around 5:30, the youngest boy, who I think is younger brother to their commander, said, Oga, congratulations, you are free. You can go now. We have got our money, you can go. Let me show you the road. They took us to old road where they wrote welcome to Imo and the goodbye from Abia. You know, we share boundary, old road to Isochi. Then they say, you know this road? I said, I don't know. I pretended because it's my village. Ube is my village. I said, I don't know the place. They said, follow this road. You get to somewhere, you will see people there. So I followed the road. We followed the road, 3 of us, until we saw people. But what pains me most is that these people told us that they are going to bring, after buying enough weapons, they bring all those that have been put in disarray, driven away from Zamfara, Katsina, Zambisa forest, that they are all coming to locate themselves in Igbo land, that there's no security in Igbo land. That they will come there and then they will deal with us. And that the young man was just flippant. Maybe he took something. He said, do you know Ibadan? Lagos Expressway. We are in all the bush there. We're everywhere there. We're also in the south. And, so we are waiting for the slightest signal. We will finish you people and take over this land. They claim that Nigeria belongs to Fulani. They said that is why we are afraid of. You know, I've been talking about this open grazing and this road.
Well, sad story. Nigerians, top of the moment to you all. My name is Comrade Lamti Oriaki, and I welcome you to the Comrade Show. Please, if you are joining this broadcast, help share this broadcast. Let's make it go round. I started, this broadcast with this video clip I just played just now, again to underscore, the level of insecurity in Nigerian states, and of course to let everybody know that this is the state of the nation. Just to remind us, it's not like we don't know; we already know. This is the state of Nigeria, and as we speak, we have a Nigeria that we are used to, which today I regard as old Nigeria, about to give birth to a new Nigeria. Now, if we, make some mistakes we don't expect to make in 2023, this same Nigeria that is reflective of what, the speaker, the video I just played now just said, that's his eminence, Samuel Kanu Uche, Methodist, Church of Abia State. He was kidnapped by kidnappers in the east, and a ransom of 100 million naira was paid for him to be, released. And of course, from the conversations by the kidnappers and every other thing, he revealed a lot that should trouble many Nigerians, particularly with some of those terrorists, being flippant and saying that they've already positioned themselves everywhere across the east and the south, and that they are just waiting for the signal, so they start killing people and taking over the land because for them the entire Nigerian state belongs to the Fulanis and all of that. Now, a number of places I've had I've had some chat with some people concerning this particular message received from this witness who is a first-hand witness to this situation, and people are seriously troubled, and the reality of the fact is that if anything breaks out right now, the South appears to be very unprepared and all of that. But I'm going to look at this from a very different dimension. My worry of a fact is 2023. Are we going to get to 2023? Because if we have a chance to get to 2023 and have the elections, hold, I am sure that all of these plans by these evil people, upon the election of Peter Obi, all of these plans will definitely, scatter. None of those plans can work anymore. The reason why these people have thrived is because we have had a president who's, a religious bigot, a president who found the flame of, religiosity, ethnicity, and a president who is very nepotistic in his approach to things. And of course, we see so many things happen all across the country. You don't hear the president say a word concerning any of those things. But when anything is happening to people he consider his own, he's the first to be present. He donated $1 million of Nigeria's money to Afghanistan while we are suffering insecurity in our country, while people are dying in our country, while so many things is happening to us. Our president, without the approval of the National Assembly, donated $1 million, and we would not have known if not that an international body publicly thanked the president for donating $1 million to Afghanistan to fight insecurity. It was not known. Nobody reported it, but it just came out from an international organization, thanking Mr. President. That's why Nigeria. In fact, that tells you how decadent our state is as a nation. However, I am very optimistic of the fact that a Peter Obi's presidency will give birth to a new Nigeria in very many ways. In very many ways, because that will change the status quo. You understand? And I tell you, from APC and PDP, there is no way Nigeria will be reborn. There is no way we can have a new Nigeria under the current arrangement we have right now. Particularly now that the PDP, now made, a foolish and a wise choice, depending on where you're looking at it from, to elect or select, what's it called, their current Mr. Atiku as the flag bearer of the PDP. So therefore, there is no hope there at all, And from the way things are unfolding right now with APC, we definitely have no hope in APC as well. There is no with the people already there and all of that. With the president who has failed woefully in every duty that is supposed to be of a president, coming out to meet with APC governors and stalwarts to say he should be allowed to choose his successor. And the nation is not, rebuking this president for making such very, it's the kind of statement you hear from from the kind of religious cycles they embed themselves in. Mr. President needs to be told that he has no right, it is not in his place, particularly having failed this woefully, to choose a successor. All Nigerians are just doing is waiting for him to pack his load and leave. Nigerians will determine who will succeed him, not him. So the right thing Mr. President ought to have said to his people is to allow him to choose the flag bearer of the APC, not to choose a successor, because that infuriated so many of us. And we want to rebuke that, without fear, or favor, as it were. And Mr. President, if it's possible for you to retract that statement and, of course, correct it to say your people should allow you choose the person to become the candidate of the APC, then that is okay. But you have no right to say you want to choose a successor, because the right of choosing a successor is a right that is holistically owned by the Nigerian people in an election that will be determined by the majority of voters. So having said that, my people, I feel very sorry for the situation we are in, particularly with the booming industry of kidnapping, the booming industry of terrorism. I mean, the Methodist church leader made so many claims. As a matter of fact, to the extent that he claimed, that he suspects that some Nigerian soldiers are actually part of this syndicate, kidnapping for ransom, using the terrorists. And equally say that they use the cow as a shield. During the day, you see them, what's it called, following their cows around. Later, they put the cows far away and they start, kidnapping and all of that. And so it's becoming a syndicate. But meanwhile, we are not taking our eyes off, the agenda, like he said, that one of the terrorists said, that they are already positioned everywhere, beneath Lagos Road, Lagos Ibadan Expressway, all the way south in the east, they are positioned everywhere and all of that. I think that 2023 is crucial, and beyond 2023 is even more crucial. But between now and 2023, we need to be on our guard. And I probably want to talk to, please share this broadcast, it's important. I probably hope that the governors of the southern states, they are able to see this broadcast. And of course, look at all of these things, look at the intelligence reports and prepare, because while we are preparing, to give birth to a new Nigeria under the leadership of President, Peter Obi, we must now be looking at the road to 2023 and the happenings around. We need to secure our lands. We need to secure, our forests. We need to secure our bushes. However we do it, I don't know. But all the governors of the South, you guys are receiving a lot of money as security votes, which is not constitutional, but you are receiving it. Use your security vote to empower the structures you already created. I don't know what the Ebubeagu in the East is actually doing. We are not seeing their impact at all. Ebubeagu that the Eastern governors said they endorsed as the security outfit, the local security outfit of the Igbos. We don't see what they are doing. We can see some things that what's it called Amotekun is doing in the West. I think that there is the need for the entire Southern governors to start harmonizing the home front right now. Because some of these things, because they say when life resembles truth, you begin to believe. I remember Obadiah, late Obadiah, I've played out his clip severally in the past, lay claim to, what's it called, classified information that some of these hoodlums in the name of, Fulanis, okay, they've perfected their strategies and their plans, to destabilize Nigeria, take over the lands in the south, and take over Nigeria. So we don't know what the plans are. We don't know what is up their sleeves. Okay, but from what the testimonies of His Eminence, Samuel Uche, you begin to cross the T's and dot the I's. You understand that these people may be up, there may be something up their sleeves. And we can begin to imagine, could this be why the president of Nigeria care less about what happens to Nigerian people, but care so much about what happens to the Fulanis in Nigeria. I have never seen a president who comes out on national TV to tell the world that the terrorists in his country, they are not Nigerians. They are from Chad Republic. They are from Niger Republic. They are from other countries. And yet, we are almost like we cannot do anything about it. So they should continue what they are doing. So it's so sad and so helpless. Meanwhile, this man is being saddled with the duty and the responsibility to say, may use our resources to protect us, provide arms and ammunition for our people. Let justice take place. Till today, under the Buhari's regime, there has been nobody convicted of terrorism in Nigeria. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I was at work last night and somebody was telling me a story. I don't know how true that story is, but because it is Nigeria, you tend to believe anything because everything is possible in that country. And a particular major, was the leader of a team that rounded up some terrorists, some Fulani terrorists and all of that, took them to the station to be detained and probably face prosecution, and went about his business. On another occasion, they rounded up some other group again. You understand what I'm saying now? And he identified that some of the people they rounded up now were the same ones that he handed over earlier to the military for prosecution and otherwise. And that they'd be released and those guys were back to their trade. And so, according to the story, I have not read it. He said the story is on our national dailies. I've asked him to send me that story. According to the story, like he was saying, the major now took the law into his hands and executed them. And I think what happened to the major thereafter was that the major was killed. You understand what I'm saying now? With an inside job. Why would he do that? This is a country where people that have been acclaimed terrorists, that have burned down villages, killed a number of people. No, we're not just talking about killing Satanás right now. As a matter of fact, the highest number of victims in the hands of these terrorists are Northerners, are the Hausas. Bauchi State is no longer Bauchi State because of terrorism. These people go into villages, slaughter people, brutalize people, and yet the policy of the federal government of Nigeria is to rehabilitate them, is to grant them amnesty. Some of them have been caught. They are under the payroll of the federal government currently because they have been granted amnesty by this government. There is nowhere in this whole wide world where that happens, only Nigeria. And so, if there is no purpose for this, then some of us don't understand why this is happening. Some of us don't understand. What's it called? The Methodist Church Bishop of Abia State that was just released now with 100 million. It's because of his status we are able to hear this. There are people being kidnapped daily and they are paid 10 million ransom, 5 million ransom, 50 million ransom. And from what the Methodist Church, leader said, it looks like even the money they are collecting as ransom, they are using to procure arms. They are hidden in our forests, in our villages. In Edo State, every now and again, they are striking, destroying farmlands. Villagers are unable to go to their farms. They are afraid. Governors of the Southern Nigeria, I beg you, you people need to hold a proper security meeting. All this issue of this one are Igbo, this one are Yoruba, this one are this, you guys should forget all this divide. But we are all in this shit together. The entire northern Nigeria has been ravaged. And when you look at it, only very few human beings are the head of this syndicate. They are the ones benefiting from this thing. So it doesn't really matter. The entire Nigerian geopolitical space is under siege by these people that many people have claimed to say many of them are not Nigerians. So some Nigerians now find comfort in working with them according to the allegations out there, including some of our soldiers. I think there needs to be proper investigation into this. Unfortunately, we do not have a leadership as a president that is willing to do this. So the only hope is that whatever plans they have, let those plans not be hatched before 2023 elections. And that further indicates that as a people, we owe it an obligation like there is no tomorrow to ensure that Peter Gregory will become president of Nigeria. This will offset all of the kind of whatever balance they have. And that will begin the restoration of this country, Nigeria. Because of a truth, some of us believe very strongly, many of us do, that the potentials of this country, Nigeria, we have not reached it. That this country is still surviving, given the amount of corruption that is taking place, the amount of embezzlement that is taking place, and this country is still managing to survive. To some of us, it's very surprising. It clearly shows that the weight of this nation is massive. The Accountant General of the Federal Government of Nigeria, under Buhari's watch, having been accused to have stolen over 80 billion naira. The money has now increased right now, discovered to have another extra 90 billion has now been added to it. We're talking of nearly 200 billion allegedly stolen through the office of the Accountant General of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Governor Nyesom Wike, his own Accountant General, allegedly, according to the EFCC, has stolen about 117 billion from River State coffers. These are the ones that the EFCC have talked about. We are talking of, there's fingers pointing to some right now in Delta State running into trillions of naira. This story is the prevalent story in every state in Nigeria. Because the kind of political culture we have now is a culture of stealing the people's patrimony for only few people to be benefiting from. So if you see some of us taking this like a personal business, to make sure we change this environment by electing a leader who will ask questions, a leader who will tighten some of these strings, a leader who will ensure that this country runs well, you will understand what we are talking about. Because this money is being mentioned, but this is minus the 2.5 billion naira stolen under NAPC. NAPC has no minister. The president of Nigeria directly oversees NAPC. He is the minister of petroleum, Buhari himself. And the report came out the other day that when Abakari was there, $2.5 billion left missing. That is enough to reposition this country. Missing. Former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Cameron, told the Queen of England, by the way, happy golden platinum jubilee to the Queen of England, told the Queen of England that the money stolen by politicians in Nigeria, if half of all that money is taken from England, the United Kingdom will collapse. And this is very true. Now imagine that Nigeria is a country less corrupt. Imagine that all of these figures mentioned, they are put into the system. I mean, what do you think Nigeria will be like? Do you think we'll have millions of Nigerians running abroad? Many right now, as we are speaking, they are begging to be enslaved in the streets of Europe. We are coming from abundance, and yet we are so poor within the abundance. Look at delegates, ordinary delegates. They are a delegate in PDP primaries in one of the northern states went to his own constituency with tens of millions of naira to share amongst his constituents as proceed he got to determine who becomes the flag bearer of the PDP. I am appealing. I am coming to make this broadcast because the future of Nigeria is not tomorrow. It is right now. The future of Nigeria is dependent on the decisions we take right now. Now, this may look funny. Somebody drew my attention to this, and of course, I've made it, huge itself. All the while, this country, Nigeria, today is being run by PDP and the APC. when you look at the symbol of these two political parties, when you look at them, the PDP has a symbol of umbrella, a non-living thing. The APC has a symbol of broom, a non-living thing. And we can see what has been, the fortunes of our country. For once, we are having the hope now, with the symbol of labor, being human beings, we are probably having the hope right now that for once, we may just have the chance of electing a human being to be president of Nigeria. And Nigerians are very hopeful that this human being will do better than the broom, will do better than the umbrella. We actually need a human being, a living thing. Because we can say of a fact that the people that are presided over the affairs of this country, they've not acted like human beings. They have not. And so when we advocate for somebody like Peter Obi as we do, okay, I said in one of my broadcasts, I said, Nigeria needs Peter Obi more than Peter Obi needs Nigeria. And so this is why one of the reasons why it is most important, more than ever before in the history of this country, for everybody to join this race. I am glad, I am monitoring things on the ground in Nigeria across the entire nation. I am telling you, as we speak, within the last 1 month, tens of millions of Nigerians have gone to register for their PVCs. Tens of millions of young Nigerians, of youths, they have gone right now to update their PVCs. Some, some people have even written me, called me. Either they are just getting theirs for the first time. Some that have had it before, they are, they've currently located where their PVC is, and they are holding it very close to their chest, and every other thing like that. And I think this is very good. So at the end of the day, it's important for us at this time, okay, as a nation, to understand that a new Nigeria must be given birth to. A new Nigeria must be given birth to and put in the hands of somebody who is capable to pilot the affairs of the nation. We have too many clowns out there. We do not want a continuity of where Buhari stops. We don't want it. We want a total change. We want to do away with this old Nigeria and give birth to a new Nigeria where there will be no space, operational space, for terrorists like this to be operating in this country. A new Nigeria that will overhaul the entire military structure. A new Nigeria that will be born under Peter Obi, that even when the government is sworn in, the entire psychology of the nation will change automatically. Even when the man has not even started any policy, that it is Peter Obi that is coming in, the entire national psychology of Nigeria will change. Why the nation waits for its direction? With Peter Obi at the helm of affairs, I am very sure there will be no room for all of these recalcitrant religious bigots to be operating the way they are doing right now. We need this new Nigeria. Everything about us depends on it. Because if we don't get it right, the tsunami that will come after, the nation may not survive it. The nation may not survive it. Everybody in the country is yearning for this new Nigeria. And so, for people who have, publicly said, with all due respect to someone like Dele Momodu, he made some statements, and I thought that those statements were, well, I would respect him because he made those statements out of his own personal experience. Unfortunately, Dele Momodu, would not understand that the time he was in labor is different from the time that Peter Obi is in labor. Dele Momodu was in labor. Nigerians didn't know about Dele Momodu being in labor. But Peter Obi is in labor. Peter Obi is not just in labor. Nigerians right now are in labor. And I'll tell you why. So for those who are trying to say, preach to say, Peter Obi is only winning on the internet. Don't listen to them. Peter Obi is winning on the ground. He's winning on the internet. He's winning on radio. He's winning on television. He's winning everywhere. I tell you, with the trajectory we are on right now, by December this year, this nation would have confirmed that the next president of Nigeria is Peter Gregory Obi. On this trajectory that we are on right now, this nation would have confirmed that the incoming president is Peter Gregory Obi. The force and the movement of Peter Gregory Obi, as a matter of fact, I liken it to even be more than what we have with MKO Abiola. Because right now, we grew in frustration into this point. We grew in frustration into this point. And so everybody right now is vigilant, is attentive, is doing something one way or the other. Whether you talk of internet, as a matter of fact, for those who are saying, oh, internet, we cannot use a social media to determine this or that, determine that. My brother, my friend, if you are saying that, it means that you don't know what happened in Edo State. If you do know what happened in Edo State, then you would be naive. Like so few people are coming out right now and say, oh, social media. As a matter of them, but they are able coming out on the social media to say that social media is not where election is won. I can tell you right now, this present election of 2023 is going to be won more on social media. And the winning of social media will translate into what is on the ground. It's already translating. From what we do here alone, from our comrade show, I know how many testimonies I'm already getting. How many people have listened to us, listened to some others, and they are writing to us to say, man, comrade, I don't go get my PVC. I'm on the way. Comrade, somebody called me from Enugu State the other day. They said, man, the massive crowd in Enugu State is so much. People are trying to get their PVC because people have been galvanized to get their PVC. The other day, I did say, some people are saying, oh, Labour's political party like Dele Momodu, that Peter Obi is going to, after Dele Momodu said, after spending 10 million, he retired. He was saying that Peter Obi is going to be spending money. Don't worry, Dele Momodu. I can assure you, Nigerians will sponsor the Labour Party. Peter Obi may not even have to spend his money. When the time comes, okay, Nigerians with their 100 naira, with their 1,000 naira, with their 1,000 naira, 100,000 naira, 50,000 naira, 5,000 naira, they will put it because here is where their mouth is at this moment. To ensure that the mandate of labor becomes a reality. And in case you don't know, to tell you how this movement is moving very fast and very pacey, okay, I'm going to play this from Kogi State. Kogi State Labor. And credit goes to AIT for this particular, footage. Just watch.
The Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress have inaugurated a steering committee charged with the responsibility of mobilizing workers and other citizens of Kogi State into the Labour Party. The 10-man committee chaired by Issa Abubakar was inaugurated by the president of the Nigerian Labour, Ayuba Waba, with a charge on the committee to mobilize workers and Nigerians at all levels ahead of the 2023 general elections.
Concerned about the bad leadership in the country, failed electoral promises characterized by bad governance, and poorly motivated workforce at the state and national levels, the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress have concluded plans to change the narratives by reactivating its own party, the Labour Party. Comrade Onwe Doka inaugurated the 10-man political steering committee on behalf of the NLC president, Comrade Ayuba Waba, in Lokoja, stating the mandate of the committee.
Those of you who are privileged to be appointed to serve in this capacity of political committee should see it as an opportunity, ensuring that all the working class people in Kogi states are brought together under one umbrella and to have a voice in the coming dispensation. So your responsibility is to begin to work on workers, to now begin to belong to the party that is their own. The party that at the end of the day will speak for them. And the party that at the end of the day will see their cause to be the cause that they belong to.
The committee said it is ready for aggressive mobilization of workers, just as those belonging to already existing party were told to return home.
We mobilize not even the workers alone, including the market women, the farmers. We mobilize all of them, the downtrodden masses of this country, to at least join the Labour Party.
And we believe if we channel our grievances or our problems through the Labour Party that takes care of the welfare of the citizens, it will be very okay for us.
In the coming days, Comrade Onuedoka said the committee will be downscaled to local governments, ward and polling unit levels for massive voter mobilization for the Labour Party come 2023. NMO now.
Well, thanks to what's it called, AIT for that particular report. Now, so by people, some people are saying Labour has no structure. What is structure? Structure is the human beings. PDP, you say have structure. APC, you say have structure. What made them have structure? Human beings. Nigerians. As a matter of fact, the trend right now is that many of my friends who are members, very staunch members of the PDP, you know, they have come out to say, look, we are members of PDP, okay, but we are voting Peter Obi for president. So, and I have preached. I said, man, look, if you believe so much in what's it called, in APC, even though they don't have any ideology whatsoever, or you believe so much in PDP and you are a member, stay as your member. Even in the UK, we have what we call protest votes. Because you don't like the trajectory of the nation, you believe in, many of us here voted for Boris Johnson. Okay, I am Labour in the UK. I voted for Boris Johnson. Okay, many of us did, many Labour voters did. The reason was that it was a protest vote to say, man, look, we want the UK to have a different direction. And the man who speaks, you know, to that direction is at that time was Boris Johnson. And I can tell you today that if there's an election in UK today, okay, Labour is likely going to win the election, and so many conservatives are going to vote for Labour. Why is it like that? Because right now a lot of people are falling, what's it called? They've lost faith and confidence in Boris Johnson because of certain policies that had to do with COVID-19 and all those things at that time and all of that. So even right now, with local elections being done, some local governments, and the conservatives, Boris Johnson's party, they are losing seriously. Labour is already gaining ground. Yet, these voters determining these things, it doesn't mean they are no longer conservative members or they are not Labour members. We just mean that they are protesting with their votes. There's a particular constituency that in history has never been won by Labour. In this last local elections that was held a few weeks ago, Labour won that constituency because it was a protest against the current Prime Minister of the UK. So we are massively going to have that in the coming elections. So the election itself is not going to be determined by the symbol of Labour. It's going to be determined by Nigerians who are suffering the brunt of insecurity. Nigerians who are suffering from bad economic policies. This president has taken so much loans that the question is, what have they done with these loans? As a matter of fact, they are just at the threshold right now of taking another loan. They don't even bother to go through the National Assembly anymore. They just say, okay, we want $6 million. They go for it. They take it. So we don't even get to know. And yet, all of that will continue to account to why our Naira is being devalued. We are not borrowing to build infrastructure. We are not borrowing to ensure that our educational standard is up to date and remains so, the best in Africa. We are not borrowing to put our hospitals in order. We are borrowing to loot. We are borrowing to consume. And does not translate to any good. To the extent that when many Nigerians hear about borrowing, people are just like, why are they borrowing again? Meanwhile, it is not a crime to borrow. But what do you do with what you are borrowing? What made you borrow in the first place? But let us listen to what the incoming president from 2023 has to say about the issue of borrowing on one of those occasions in America. Let's take a listen.
This is the commercial.
If we have good managers, when people talk about borrowing, like our friend has said, There's nothing wrong in borrowing. You live in an 18 trillion economy, isn't it? America is 18 trillion GDP. But they're owing 21 trillion. Simple. Even China that I mentioned is owing 5 trillion. The entire debt of Africa is under 200 billion, which means Africa can borrow more. But who is going to manage this new money we are going to borrow? Is it the same character that is there now? No.
That is the question. So what are you borrowing? What are you borrowing for? What are you borrowing for? The incoming president, Peter Obi, understands all of this. And I now want to go back to where I started from. I started from the stable of insecurity and what happened to the Methodist Church bishop, talking of Samuel Uche. I was kidnapped and released for 100 million. And I tell you, the reason why I believe very strongly that Peter Obi is an answer to some of these things is because if the level of poverty in this country was not this much, I can tell you that the level of insecurity in this country will not be this much. Poverty has given room to so much vacuum. People now find, spaces, where they had no hope. You understand what I'm saying? And they just begin to align with anything that will, be lucrative for them to earn a living. And crime has a lot of what's it called, spaces for them and all of that. So instead of us having job spaces, we're having crime spaces. So we need a Peter Obi government, that will, place Nigerians at the center of its own policies. That will create a robust environment for Nigerians to earn a living. Now, he has already moved me when he said that, one of his priorities when it comes to office as president is quickly, to do whatever it takes within the shortest possible time to elevate power distribution in Nigeria. Instead of us, struggling between 2,000, I don't know what they call it, megawatts of electricity and 3,000, and we are having a electric water supply, we can do a lot to quickly shoot it up to 40,000 megawatts of electricity from 2,000 to 3,000. Because he understands that when electricity becomes stable, when power becomes stable in Nigeria, that itself will employ a lot of people. That itself will take away so much burden from manufacturers to make things start getting easy, make things start getting cheaper. Because when a number of people, some of you will be surprised. I mean, I've not really, seen any terrorists per se being interviewed, but we have seen some other small criminals, armed robbers and all of that. Some of them being interviewed. Some of them I've seen cases where young graduates are interviewed because they've been involved in armed robbery, involved some social vices here and there or the other, extortion. And one thing that is very permanent in their stories is that they've been graduate for 5 years, they've been graduate for 10 years, in some cases for more than that. They have had no job, no stability whatsoever. And so that just first and foremost make them candidates for crime. The highest level of unemployment in Nigeria is in the north. It's in the north. And so for a cattle rearer or his cousin who before Buhari came or just before Buhari came, you understand what I'm saying now? They probably hardly get 20,000 a month. All of a sudden, they're just introduced to criminality. Just kill some human beings, kidnap some, take some ransom, and we'll be giving you 1 million naira every month. What do you think they will do? But yet, there will be some northerners who are gainfully employed, who are going to buy their normal duties and all of that, and their business is moving and thriving. They will not be attracted to this menace. Now, that is one way, first and foremost, of de-emphasizing all of this. Practically, as we speak, the entire southern part of Nigeria is already filled with northerners. In my own state and those states, I made a broadcast concerning that we are beginning to get concerned because somehow we don't even know whether the population of Hausas or Fulanis or whatever they are in Edo State right now, they are beginning to be more than the Edo State people. We don't know. They are the ones who are pushing the wheelbarrows. They are the ones that people are employed right now as house help and gate men. Some cases, they are the ones who are driving, what's public transport, what's it called, keke na pep and all of that. They are the ones who are going to farms to help as laborers to farm for us. They are the ones you see more right now as bricklayers. They are the ones you see as traders. And every day, trailer loads of them are coming more and more from the north. May God not let us have problem tomorrow. Will these ones not join their own relatives to take up arms against us right under our nose? I hope that is not the case. I pray that is not the case. However, if Nigeria was a country that had employment, many of these young people or children, whatever, coming from the north to the south, so they are the ones you will see as beggars. They don't have reasons to come to the south because they would have been employed in their own place, in their farms. They would have been employed somehow by their own brothers and their people who are SMEs, young entrepreneurs and all of that. That would have reduced the influx of them coming to the south. So apart from whatever agenda many of us may think, the truth of the matter is that there is hunger in the land. And if there's hunger in the land, people want to migrate and move to where they believe they can have some daily bread. This is practical. This is practical. It becomes dangerous now that we are having so much uncertainty around our nation that we now become afraid. Suppose anything happens, just like, what's it called? Bishop Samuel, alluded to. Everywhere you turn right now in Edo State, it's full of northerners. They've migrated because, this is my own thinking, primarily because of hunger. So we need a president that is economically savvy, a president who understands where we are right now, and who will gradually improve on what we have, who will gradually build on what we have right now, and sanitize the mind of the Nigerian people, at least, so that this country, for once, people can truly feel they are part of a country. And people can truly start feeling that sense of patriotism. Many of the northerners, some people have said, oh, maybe now let's southeast, now Peter B get level, not get level for other places. Look, when time reach the proper political, I'm just waiting for Peter B right now to, look at and, have his own running mates. Thereafter, we can now begin to make proper projections and permutations on so many of these things. But I tell you, take it to the bank. The next president of Nigeria is Peter Gregory Obi. Not just because I say so, because every Nigerian, every day, Nigerians are waking up to this reality and Nigerians are queuing. So instead of you to be there and making all the noise, you don't get structure, you join because the structure is you and I. If we can say that 15 million youths voted in the last election or so, or more than that, as they say, that was the youth that determined 2015 elections, 2017 and 11 elections, I tell you, the youth will determine 2023 elections. And right now, as the youth are moving massively to revalidate their PVC, for the ones that have not had before, to get their own PVCs, please, if you are of voting age, go and get your PVC. A couple of days back, my nephews and my nieces that have attained the age of 18 since like 3 years coming or thereabout, we have I have empowered all of them to go and get their PVCs. All of them. And to equally reach out to their mates, their friends. And so there is a massive movement even in my own state of Edo State. In readiness and preparation to say, man, look, 2023 will be Peter Obi. There is no manafiki about it. The nation will get up in December, by December 31st. As we enter January 1st, 2023, the nation will wake up to the reality that Peter Obi is coming in as the president of Nigeria. I'm not just saying so. Everybody who feels the brunt of what we are going through in this country, everybody is saying so. Everybody is working towards that direction. Not just those in the south, even some of our northern brothers are working towards that, and many more will join the fray. We will see a lot more of that. You know, this movement, you know, it's bound to grow from strength to strength, and it's already growing. And I like to thank, you know, our artists, you know, the Two-Face, Two Baba, you know, all of those guys, our skit makers, all of these are young celebrities already queuing. Your voices matter in this. Because of you, more people will join the fray. So we cannot afford to pause. And we cannot afford to give room to the pessimists and the doubters that are saying that there is no structure in labor. We are the structure. If anybody tells you Peter Obi has no structure, tell him you are the structure. And he or she can equally be the structure. So let us, as a people, believe very strongly in ourselves that the structure has come, and the structure is a human being. And the good thing about it is that Labour is not just a party that is appealing right now to young people, young unemployed people, employed people, but Labour is a party for workers who are suffering currently in Nigeria. Labour is a party for ASU. ASU members, I hope you are listening. Labour is a party for students, Nigerian students. You are at home right now because of the policies of APC government. And many of you don't even know when you are going to graduate. I tell you, Peter Obi understands the importance of education. He has said severally that education is the most important component of our state. And yet, it is the most overlooked component. This man will give education, you know, the relevance it deserves. It means that under Peter Obi, you will know when you enter into the school, when you admit to the university, and you will know when you are graduating. But previously, as it is, you know when you go in, you don't know when you are coming out. So it is a mandate by Nigerian universities. When I say BU Zaria, University of Nigeria Nsukka, University of Benin, OAU, Uniport, everywhere, massively, Nigerian students go and get your PVCs. It's time to make the statement. If Buhari like, let him not attend to ASU. Let us pay the sacrifice. Make una day has no problem. But determine that 2023, Obi will become president. And as soon as he becomes president, in fact, days after, ASU will resume. And your education will be hitch-free going forward. This is the only country where we are producing people and there is no room for them to fit into a society. Because politicians are blocking the way. Everybody's feeling the brunt. Everybody's feeling the brunt. So Nigerians, I've only come out here to say it's our duty to give birth to a new Nigeria. A new Nigeria will not just be born, you know, in isolation. It will be born in the character of a human being that will lead the country. In the character of a human being that will direct the affairs of the country. And right now, on the field, the man that all of us agree, most of us agree to, as the man that will change the front of this country and truly make us feel that new Nigeria is Peter Gregory Obi. Please, don't be weary. Don't despair. Our vote collectively put together will make that difference. 20 million votes is our target for Peter Obi. 20 million. We should get it. We can only get it only if you get up right now, if you don't have your PVC, to go and quickly apply to get your PVC. You can still go to the INEC centers right now and apply to it for it and get it. The online this thing, we are hoping that they will still open it because the online, what's it called, application has already closed on May 30th. But we are hoping that they will extend it. If they do, fine. We are following, we are monitoring. If they do, we will still announce it. But for the now, enough of broom, enough of umbrella. Let us vote for human beings. And labor and the symbol of labor represent human beings. Let us do this for ourselves, for our future, for the distant future of the Nigerian state. Nobody else spoke better to this than Sheung of China's television. He had this to say.
Like in all the nations of the world, the powerful political elites will determine who governs us. Like a proverbial knees on our necks, this nation is choking. We can no longer breathe. There is a shortage of air. We need to allow this nation thrive. I'm pleading with you tonight on behalf of millions of our people, more than 10 million of their children who are out of school, and more than half of the population who are in abject poverty. This nation cannot be taken as a private enterprise anymore. You, the ordinary Nigerian, can no longer keep quiet. The nation belongs to all of us. And this time around again, no sitting on the fence. We must speak up to rescue this nation. The continent of Africa is waiting for its giant to rise up and flourish. That is why 2023 election is a make or mar. Look, this nation cannot make a mistake with the choice of its next leader. It is a must we get it right. If you employ the best hands to run your private companies, we should have the best of us run the affairs of this nation. We must get leadership right, not only at the center, but across the states. Knowledge, crisis management skills, character and integrity, vision and courage to make tough decisions, effective communication skills, ability to unite the nation. Leaders who cannot show these traits cannot be hired. Enough is enough. Nigeria, arise, vote and vote right, and your time is now. And that is my final word tonight.
Thank you very much, Sheung. He is in the spirit, he is in the picture, he understands the drill, he knows where we are, and he spoke to it succinctly. Nigerians, the future of this country is in our hands, and that future is now. It is not tomorrow. Let's do what we have to do. Get your PVCs. For those who can register with labor, join the labor force, join the labor movement. Think of what you can do. And do what I can do. And help me do what I can do. Help share this broadcast. That may be part of what you can do. Everything that speaks to this movement, please share. If you believe in it, share. Share, because there is no alternative. A snake will not give birth to a tortoise. A rabbit will not give birth to a grass cutter. PDP will not give birth to anything that is good as far as this thing is concerned. APC is a write-off, we already know. If it is what they are doing already in this country under this thing, there is no way. The crop of people right there. Look at what is happening under PDP primaries. We cannot mortgage our future anymore. All the monies they are spending right now, they will even spend more. You think that they are just going to sit back and not claim all these monies back? And after claiming the money, you think that there will be something left for you? There will be none. So they will be losers. Spend this money, they will lose. APC, they are already spending theirs. President came out shamelessly to say he should be allowed to choose his successor. Very wrong choice of talk. Choose APC, what's it called, the flag bearer, not the successor. Nigerians will choose their successor, not the president determine who successor is going to be. So Nigerian people, please, let's salvage our nation. If some of us who don't live in Nigeria, Nigerian economy does not impact me directly or indirectly in any way, shape, or form. Just indirectly it does, because I have a lot of people I'm caring for out there. If I'm not caring for anybody in Nigeria, where I am over self-sufficient. Over. But I have a lot of people on my neck in that country. So it affects me. So if we who live outside can do what we are doing, please, you at home should do more. Because the impact of this bad governance, I am not here right now afraid that everybody's coming to kidnap me, or that I'm here right now, I'm afraid that, one moment. I mean, I have lived abroad so many years. I don't want too many years. I never did want to say light blink. Say light, they sees light. What one sees the light? What one sees them? Or I mean, I don't even know how to say it, man. But our nation has the potential of having all of these amenities in place as well. All of it. Medical, education, everything in place. And all of this can happen by a leader who understands the time, who knows where we are and knows where we should be. A leader who is prepared, who's seen it, and who campaigns and not just sell us. I mean, I was watching Bola Ahmed Tinubu talking the other day. Oh, I will reposition Nigeria. I will do this. I will do this, which is easy to say. Anybody can say that. He is not telling us how he's going to do it. This is where Peter B is different from all of them. He tells you how. To the extent that he tells you on some occasions where we will get the money from to do it, to get this things repositioned. Look, man, this is a good chance before Nigerians. God just made a way. People have been praying. God just made a way. The man left PDP where he would have been embarrassed, demoralized, and probably never to rise up, and left and joined Labour. And thank God for the people in Labour. Many of them stepped down. And allowed Peter Obi to sail through and got the vote to become the candidate. So I think that is the much God can do for us. What God will not do for us is to make us get up and go and get our PVCs. Don't procrastinate. You may be watching me right now. Don't procrastinate. The most important thing you need right now is to get your PVC and tie it to your chest. It is your determining factor. For those who are saying, the cynics who are saying, oh, the vote not will count, forget it, the vote will count. As a matter of fact, by the new regulation, by the new arrangement by INEC, the vote will be translated from the polling unit to the INEC, this thing, what's it called, database. Everybody will witness. Labour Party, 500 votes. APC, 2 votes. PDP, 1 vote. Translated directly to INEC server. It will be collated there. We're going to count and we're going to see and we're going to follow them up. And we're not going to tie our hands for them to be doing it. We'll be involved, all of us. Inside out. So the election is going to be crucial. Nobody is going to have anything to take away from it. You that has taken time now to get your BVCs, to do everything, you will not fold your arms. Everywhere you vote, you want to know what the result is. You are not going to even go home. You want to stay afar. When they kind of go declare and you go know who win from there, you will write them down. So it is no longer business as usual. They know it. And that is why they are using money to bribe everybody left, right, side, corner. You will take their money because that money belongs to Nigeria. Yet, you will vote for Peter Gregory Obi. We did it in those states. 2020 was landmark. The power of social media transformed the landscape. While the opposition to the governor of those states, they were still like, oh, social media is just noise making. We were already counting the votes. So if it was done in those states, it was done in America, it was done in the UK, I can tell you it will be done in Nigeria. The youths, all Nigerians use our social media. They are watching these messages. They know the drill. They are the ones suffering it more. So take it as a matter of personal commitment and personal business to say, this you owe not just yourself, you owe the nation, you owe your future, and you owe generations after you. Let's get it right so the future of Nigeria can be better for all of us. On that note, I say thank you for joining this broadcast. Please share, and share. I'll see you again. My name is Comrade Lamtic Momosa Oreahi. The show must go on. Bye for now.
Commerce Show. Wait. Relante Oriente. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Commerce Show.
Are you a business owner? Do you make your own products? This is your best opportunity ever. Register your brand now with the first and largest marketplace promoting Nigerian-made products. Get access to over 17 million shoppers and customers currently in need of your products. Download on Google Play Store now to register or visit ekioja.com. Focus on creating your passion. Leave the marketing to us.